Hey, it's the Bright Queen. It's Jabria. It's Queen Sensitivity. And today I'm a little bit nervous, but it's been a minute. Maybe that's why I'm a little bit more nervous. But all this information is extremely important, and I have been extremely inspired by The Alchemist 369 and Bamhead TV, and I will be linking both their channels and their podcast channel in the description below, and hopefully as well the pinned comment. I feel like it's my turn. It's been probably like 2 months since I posted like a video, and I have changed so much in the 2 months. It's really incredible. And I think I want to title this like how I changed my life. My whole life has changed in like such a short amount of time, and I feel like I wish like my past self would have known how to do this. And so, you know, but it's also vibrational things, but hopefully somebody out there is like ready to hear these things, and I'm the person that's delivering the remembrance to you, that's activating this within you. So I'm gonna share. Also, like, full disclaimer, I probably won't be going in chronological order. Maybe some things won't like connect in a way that like makes linear sense. If that's the case, which most likely will be the case, that's okay. Just tune in energetically, and we'll go from there. So I already got like family in the room. By the way, I also want to say like some things I say in here might be triggering. And if you're ready for it, I hope so. I hope it does trigger you, because some of the best evolutions or turning points of me have happened when I've been triggered by somebody. It takes, I feel like, a very like strong person to trigger you, and so in that way I'm kind of like honored that I get to be that person for you. Where should I start? I think I'll just start by like talking about recently. It's a lot to talk about recently. So if you've been following my live videos, I think my most recent live video was about a month and a half ago. But those that have been like more recent, I talked about how I was seeing the Titans. Like I kept having visions of Titans and like feeling drawn towards them. And I would meditate and like try to like see them. And I had this one vision where like one like picked me up in their giant hand and like brought me to their eye, and they were like so happy to like see me. I feel like we're taught that like you should be afraid of these beings. Like if you saw like a person as tall as like 3 mountains or something, like, you know what I mean? Like you'd be afraid, but like they loved you because I could feel that they loved me because I could feel that they were like their family. And I also had this one vision where I saw like I was in this cave, but like the whole cave was just one being, and it was like this coppery orange like color, which I see quite often, or at least I used to. I haven't seen it recently. And at the very top was just this single eye, and I could feel the eye like talking to me, like I could feel the whole being talking to me. And then once again, I was being risen up like on this platform, or the palm of their hand, or the little tentacle, whatever you want to call it. And they were basically just like saying like, I love you, like I'm so happy you're here, like, hey, all these sweet things. Anywho, all of this kind of like led me to looking into flat earth. I'm not sure like how or why, but that's what I did. I felt like I was supposed to be looking into flat earth. I had been told about flat earth years ago, probably in like 2020, 2021 by one of my cousins. And I was just like, okay. She was comparing it to like the Game of Thrones and how there was an ice wall, and how that she was saying there were creatures beyond the ice wall. And I was just like, oh, okay. Like I squared the information away, but I didn't truly like believe it. And then after that, whenever I would hear people bringing it up, I'd be like, okay, but like what does it change? And I compared it to the moment whenever the end of the Nemo movie where the fish finally escaped the fish tank, but they're still in the plastic bubble. And I feel like although that critique or comparison was quite harsh and in some cases like redundant or incomparable, I feel like I still have a point in the sense that like knowledge without application is futile. And that's what I was meaning by that. Like, now that you know that, now that you've escaped the fish tank in the dentist's office and escaped to the sea, if you're still in that plastic like bubble, if you're not applying information, if you're still afraid of certain things or believing in certain things, like, the knowledge is futile. You know what I mean? And so I feel like my point is still valid, but also it's not, because I've been really digging into the idea of like, or the difference between belief and a knowing. And once you know about this construct, this realm being a flat plane, it's not a belief, it's a knowing. And so once you know certain things, it automatically cancels out the belief of a lot of ridiculousness that's harmful. I mean, we can laugh about it, but you know, it kind of sucks. These beliefs, these harmful beliefs. And through my research into flat earth, or this flat plane, whatever you want to call it, it's obviously topographical, but it's a flat plane. I ran into this person who studies biogeology, and he explained how there are titans literally around us. And I was like, boom, like this, all of this was leading me to this. And it completely changed the way that I see the world. I went outside, I would go drive to my car, like drive to the grocery store, and you see the world completely different. It's so interesting, the power of perspective, the power of the mind, because we're told like something is one thing, but then once you unlearn that and you learn the truth, you see the truth, like you see things differently, and it changes everything. And more than anything, it's empowering. So like, just keep that in mind. Like I said, this is probably not gonna be linear. So I have had the extreme privilege of becoming an aunt for the first time, at least biologically. And my sister had twin babies, and I was thinking about like a gift I wanted to give them. And if you know anything about me, I want my gifts to be meaningful. I want them, especially for my nieces whom I love dearly, I want them to be preparational. I want them to be preparing them for the world, protecting them, giving them love, setting them up for the best success as human beings in this experience. And right now, because they're so young, you can't give them like a crystal bracelet or anything. You can't give them a book. You can't like show them a YouTube channel or tell them a movie to watch, because they're infants. And so I was like, I'm gonna do those water jars. There's that test where you put rice, 2 jars of rice and water. In one of the jars, you tell them you love them, and the other one you tell them you hate it. And the one that you say you hate and all these despicable things, it rots. And the ones that you don't, it like starts to ferment and to like grow. And so I was like, I'm gonna do that, but I'm gonna do it just all love. And so I started off simply with just my own cups of water. I wrote down on these pieces of paper, I love you. And when I wrote these things, I made sure to like feel the love that I have for myself as I was writing it. I actually have one of them right here. It's kind of like faded out from all the use. But you see like how I wrote it, it's like you can tell like I put my love into it. And I would drink that water versus water I didn't drink. I didn't do that. I didn't sit under the glass or on top of the paper, and the water tastes completely different. So I was like, okay, boom, I'm on to something. And so when they turned 5 months, I was like, I'm gonna do a whole month of love water jars, and I'm gonna say I love you to the jars every day. I'm gonna tell them how incredible they are. I'm gonna hold them. I'd hold the jars. I'd play them high frequency music. I'd put selenite crystals amethyst crystals like near them, and just every day just booming them with love every time I walk past them, touching the little top of the lid. And throughout this whole month, I noticed that like I would have to be really careful about the things that I was allowing in my space. So like the music I would be playing, like if I was playing a really sad, depressive song, I would have to hurry up and change it, because I'm like, I don't want that energy, that information, or that vibration to be being sent and collected in these jars for my nieces. The music that I like I said, the sad songs are extremely explicit songs, or songs that talked about like self-hate or self-deprecation. Like all these things came into play. Like even like what I was watching when I would hold the jars. Like if I was watching something where a whole bunch of people were being shot and murdered, I'd be like, hold on, I can't like watch this while I'm like holding these jars for the babies. And so this whole experience really like, and combined with the idea of biogeology and how, and even flat earth, knowing the truth, it changes what you see. Like you're told that something is one thing, and so that's what you see it as. You're told this is a rough surface, and so you never question it again. But especially if you're told by a person that has authority that you give your power away to, if they tell you something is something, then you believe that to be something and you don't question it again. But just because they say that something is that does not mean it's true. And so all these things were like coming together about like perspective, and how like thoughts and what you consume can really fucking like change your literal reality. What you are feeding your mind changes everything. And I already knew this. I've been a great manifester my entire life. I would literally like, when I really wanted something to happen, it would happen. I would have to like really push, but it would happen. I wanted to move out of my house in Alabama, and I wanted to move to Spring, Texas. And I moved to Spring, Texas when I was 11. I was able to manifest that for myself. So I've always been a manifestor, and I've known that it was possible. But I feel like because of like self-hate, insecurities, belief system, limiting thought patterns, beliefs, all these things, feeling unworthy, feeling deserving, I've been very inconsistent and very lazy about what I allowed to be in my mind. Not even just in my presence, in my mind, in your soul, like in your energy field is what is important. Not even necessarily what's around you, because everything around you is a reflection of everything inside of you. And all of this stuff has been said before, but I am here, testament to tell you how I changed my life, how I did it, how I am doing it. And so something that I found very interesting is that at this point, both my nieces are teething. And the one that has had the bath in the water that I poured my love into for a month has very like minimal symptoms of the teething. She's not very fussy. She's sleeping well. Versus the other one who hasn't had the bath in the water that I made for her, that I poured my love into for her, that program for her. She's been very irritable, very fussy, not feeling very good. And I'm like, I can't help but feel like I have an influence of that. And because of all this, and like I said, all these little different points that I've made, I know that I had the power to change my reality. So the past, for 3 weeks, basically, I had a huge pineal gland clearing of this right here. And even now you can hear it, but it's much better than it was before. Trust me, it's much better than it was before. And that whole time I was so upset with my body. I was so upset that it wasn't doing what I wanted to do. Like I would really try to like change my reality and like make it go away, but it wasn't working. Then I watched this video by BAMHEK TV, BAMHEK TV. Pretty sure that's how you spell it. And again, it's going to be in the description and hopefully in the pinned comments as well. And his videos, I watched 2 of them. I believe the first one was about like how to manifest, and the second one was about affirmations. And I never thought it would. I've never been, I feel like, the person to say this, that like a simple maybe 30-minute video would change my life, but it did, and it changed my life very quickly. And you can watch that for yourself. I feel like I want to like just push you to go watch his stuff instead of like giving you like the full deets on like what's it about. But it changed my whole perspective on how to manifest and how to use affirmations completely. One of the things that he said was, and I heard this from other people, it's like all these little things were in my like vicinity, and they all like came to a close, like the circle came to a full circle with these videos, in particular that one video from Bad Heck TV, from Hector. I heard this before, that like the when you're going to sleep and when you first wake up are the strongest like moments you have. And he was saying how every day when he wakes up, he says out loud, I am statements. And his are like, I am healthy, I am strong, I am young. And I was like, I'm not doing all that, because I've tried all these things before. I've tried being consistent about writing affirmations down every day or saying them every day. And me personally, it just hasn't worked. I'm a life path 5, and like, you know, these things, that things, but I like to think, this is Kitty, I like to think this is why, but I have a really hard time like doing things the same way. I don't like to do anything the same way. I like to change, I like to shift, especially in terms of like scenic or like routines and stuff. I like to switch things up. And so I was like, I'm just gonna do every day, when I first wake up, even though my voice is groggy, I'm gonna say, I am free. I am free. Because that's all I want. That's literally what I want. More than anything is to be free. I want to be free of all limitations, of all doubt, of all worry, of all stress. I want to be free of all scarcity and lack and illness, of the past, of the future. I want to just be free. That's what I want more than anything. Free of hunger, free of thirst. I just want to be free. And so I started doing that. And I also took his other advice, which was to be present, be in the present moment, and be grateful and accepting of what you currently have. And then after you do that, that's when you can start saying what you want. So I'm already pretty good at visualizing. Like I said before, I've manifested things before. But it was always like harder. It was more effort that I put into it. And I've seen very quickly that this way that I'm doing it is much more easier. And it's much more like successful, like more success rates. And I was watching an interview shortly before I was watching this one, or maybe it was last night. Who knows what time? Time doesn't exist. I was watching one of his podcast co-hosts, Andre, and Andre was saying like about manifestation and how like after he's had out-of-body experiences, OBEs, how he can manifest anything he wants really easily. Like once you remember that you're God, like this is like, you know, you can easily manipulate this because we're in a construct, we're in a game. Like this is not real as well as it's real. You know what I mean? Like it's not real, but it's real. But it's not, you know what I mean? And when I was watching him say like that, I felt that too. Like it is really easy to like manifest and like change my life. And I have been so happy and like happy with myself and happy with my life since I've been doing this. And I've only been doing it for a week and I've noticed like humongous shifts. And this isn't to say that like I woke up every day feeling great, because I did not. There were at least 3 days this week where I woke up like feeling sad and like feeling down and like low vibrational, even with this. But that's the thing about what I was saying before, is it's really important to be accepting of the here and now moment. I'm going to conclude this first video just to make it easier on me. I'm very impatient, and whenever the videos are really long, it takes it a while to upload to YouTube, plus it's in 4K. So I'm going to see you in the part 2 of how I changed my life. shortly, and I'll see you over there.